What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melv here for another classic review, and today I'm reviewing the Goosebumps episode, which is a parody of the Phantom of the Opera, Phantom of the Auditorium. First aired on December 1st of 1995, it was the 7th episode for season 1. It was between Welcome to Camp Nightmare and Piano Lessons Can Be Murdered. But before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, well then, if you got the role of the Phantom, just be aware. It's cursed. And you'll know why soon enough. But let's begin. So, Phantom of the Auditorium. To tell you the truth, what I told you, this was the very first Goosebumps episode I ever seen. The first one. Yeah, this was my first episode of Goosebumps. The Phantom of the Auditorium. And I've always been a sucker to the classic story of the Phantom of the Opera. I'm more a fan of the original material than the Broadway because, come on, people think like the story might be the same with the Broadway? Oh, hell no. It's way more darker. You ever seen the 1925 one? The one with Lon Chaney? Yeah. Imagine that. I heard Blumhouse might be picking for that one, but go for the darker one based on the book. Hey, you go for the book? I'm watching it. Broadway? No thanks. I already have enough crying already. But yeah. Phantom of the Auditorium was an interesting one because you'll see why. I'll tell you all about it. So we get the opening credit with a mysterious voice saying, "Come to me, Esmeralda. Come to eternal darkness." So a mysterious figure in a cape wearing a white mask. Yep. Looks like the Phantom of the Opera. Which, of course, we get our main character. Oh boy. Brooke Rogers screaming after waking up. Looks like she's been sleeping and she had a nightmare. And she was reading a audition of The Phantom. Back at school, we're at the auditorium. She's a member of the drama club, but they're bringing back a play that hasn't been done in years. And she gets the lead of Esmeralda, the daughter of the owner of the theater. See what I mean? But then, of course, they're talking about Tina, who is her understudy. Well, of course, I think, and of course, Corey, who will play Esmeralda's dad, the owner of the theater, telling her that you better be careful, Brooke, or Tina might drop a sandbag off the rafters. Which, of course, Tina explains that she didn't want the part. Tell them because the play is cursed. Which, of course, they all want to hear. Because she heard this from her grandpa, who went to the school many years ago. Because the school, when Tina begins with the story, she tells that back in around the 1920s when the school first opened. The original drama club made their first production of Phantom, which, of course, during opening night, the boy who supposed to play the Phantom disappeared, and the boy's parents were, let's say, going nuts because they wanted to find their son, and he had the police investigate the whole place. They searched the whole area, but he's never been found. Only his ghost to return as an actual Phantom. Soon, while Tina was saying that, a mysterious hand appears out of the curtains, which, of course, grabs Brooke. After Brooke screams, he sees a mysterious figure in a mask, but it turns out asking, "Esmeralda, I have come for thee. May I borrow some lunch money?" Well, it turns out to be Zeke, the class clown, who got the role of the Phantom. Which, of course, lights turn on and appeared Miss Levy, who's the drama teacher. Of course, she's the type of no nonsense. The only thing she's afraid of is a bad review. Of course, Tina explains they should do this because it's cursed. Of course, Miss Levy doesn't want to hear about Miss Walker. Sorry. Miss Walker doesn't want to hear about it because the only bad thing she don't want to hear is a bad review. Of course, each explains their role. Corey playing the father, Brooke playing Esmeralda, and Zeke playing the Phantom. That's while she's still talking, Corey accidentally presses the button to activate a trap door, which has been used in years since the original production of the Phantom, which she tells him strictly, do not enter there. Period. Yeah, when they leave, guess what? They want to explore. Of course, when they got curiosity less too much because they already went inside to start exploring. That's when they get trapped. But of course, they thought they heard something. Both Tina and Zeke managed to climb out, but with the help of a janitor named Emil, who calls himself the night janitor, of course, tells them not to, like a warning. They both leave. Next day, they're talking and they meet a new guy named Brian. Which, of course, I think when Brooke gets up, Tia just takes her seat. Which is actually pretty funny. But soon, while during I think it was, let me try to remember, I think it was during a testing of the production while they're doing it. That's when the lights go off. Ms. Walker say, what the hell's going on now? That's when Tia points up. There's somebody in the rafters, swings down, grabs Brooke, and tells her not to go down below, and suddenly activates the trapdoor and disappears. And what comes down to that? A prop door come crashing down with the words, stay away from my home or else. Of course, the lights go on. Out of nowhere, Zeke appears, which Miss Walker chastises him about the prank going forward, which Zeke tells him, I don't know what you're talking about. I just got back from a dentist appointment. Which, of course, they don't believe him. That's when Tina finds blood, red paint on the floor, so they follow and leads him to his locker, which, of course, he says he's being framed. But she don't want to hear about it. She kicks him out of the production. Of course, something doesn't add up because, first of all, Zeke didn't do it because he wasn't a dentist appointment. Which had to be proved because his mom's still there. You can just ask her. Of course, he asks Mr. Johnson, who's the other manager, the other janitor, would they ask him, hey, you know about the night janitor? Which, of course, he says, night janitor? There is no night janitor. Which, of course, the trio start to freak out because, oh boy, and who did they talk to? So the next night, they sneak into the trapdoor. They keep going. They went deep inside, and they found it like someone had been living there. That's when the Phantom appears. And of course, the chase pursues. The Phantom grabs Brooke until she rips the mask off. And it turns out to be Emil, which, of course, she manages to escape. And also, Emil goes the other way. Both of them, the trio, try to get out. Which, of course, they've been found by some help. Of course, luckily, they were lucky because it was a meeting. And both the principal and the teacher and Ms. Walker were there. Which they had the police. Turns out Emil was a homeless guy living under the stage for a long time. Which the police all they could find is an old prop mask and an old hat. Which, of course, but Emil disappeared after that. Of course, after finding out the truth, Ms. Walker apologized to Zeke, which, of course, Zeke is welcome back to play the Phantom again. Which, Brian says the Phantom lives. Soon we get the production of the Phantom. Zeke, a bit nervous. What do you expect? It's the first opening night. What do you expect? All of a sudden, he gets grabbed. Esmeralda calling for the Phantom. That's when the trapdoor lifts. And soon we get this amazing fog effect with the Phantom rise from the fog right there. With that pose from the shadows. That's when Brooks' character Monroe said, "Oh, Phantom, we're finally together." And that's when things turn weird. That's when the Phantom grabs Brooke, but a bit too hard. That's when Brooke looks at it and says, "Hey, Zeke, you're grabbing too hard," until she sees his eyes look like fire, literally. And she knows this ain't Zeke. That's when he starts to tell her about what actually happened. That this was the night, but I fell into the dark abyss, and I became a real phantom. Now, Esmeralda, join me into eternal darkness. She tells him to let go, and she rips the mask off him, which he screams and falls backwards right back in the trapdoor. Curtain falls, everybody applauses with cheers. I like, okay, that was the funny part gig right here. That's when everybody's celebrating. That's when Tia said, "Oh, how you like the decoration? Yeah, move it." She didn't care about it. She just prefers the performance better than the decoration. Damn, that's cold. Of course, Miss Walker is saying, "Where's Zeke?" And of course. The trapdoor lifts and we see Zeke laying on the ground. Looks like like he got passed out. That's when Miss Walker compliments him on where he got those lines. Of course, for an encore, taking a bow. Of course, Zeke, when he wakes up, there was a book next to him, a yearbook. Which, of course, when Brooke looks at it, it says future people of tomorrow. 1923, I think. I think it was 1923 or 1929, right that time period. Of course, during that's when Brooke tells him Tina was actually telling the truth, which which Zeke doesn't get until she tells him that it was actually him, the boy who disappeared, because he waited 100 years to play the role again, and he finally got what he wanted. Which Zeke doesn't still get it until he sells the photo of the first performance of the Phantom, and guess what it was? Guess who was the original Phantom? It was Brian Coulson. And that was the freakiest part of all. That you didn't know the kid that you've been hanging out with was the original Phantom. Wow. And that was Phantom of the Auditorium, people. And okay, tell you the truth, I like the organ theme when Brooke explains that that the actual Phantom did show up. It turns out to be Brian, who's been dead for 100 years, just to re-roll his famous role before his untimely death. That was actually pretty good because remember, this is a parody of the Phantom of the Opera. That remember the Phantom's like scarred or acid burned, but this one's like he fell backwards, never seen again. He comes back as an actual Phantom, making his one chance to play the role again for one more time. And yeah, and it's kind of different from the book. I read the book when I was in the 5th grade. And the book, the secretary tells them there's no night janitor. In the episode, the janitor is the one who does it. Damn. Except the secretary of the principal, it's the janitor who tells them straight. And in the book, the first rehearsal, Zeke scares everyone by showing up wearing the Phantom mask. In the episode, Zeke scares everyone in the first rehearsal by wearing his full Phantom costume and swooping down from the catwalks. And okay, in the book, Emil admits to sabotaging the rehearsal and framing Zeke, but has no idea about the story of the Phantom. In the episode, Emil dresses as the Phantom during the sabotage attempt and seems to know the story of the Phantom. In the episode, Brooke and Zeke doesn't seem to be into horror movies. And Brooke's little brother does not appear, which he does appear in the book, but not in the episode. I wonder why. But yeah, and that was Phantom of the Auditorium, people. It was actually pretty good, actually. And here's some fun facts. Brooks' copy of the script contains the names of several members of the television show cast crew, which is actually pretty funny. It's actually pretty funny if you didn't know that. And here's the funny part. Phelps Edel, who played Corey, actually plays Shane, one of the twins, in season 2's Attack of the Jack-O-Lantern. So he didn't play the one of the kids who played the dad of Esmeralda. He also played the alien twin from Attack of the Jack-O-Lantern, which is actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. And also, I think Dochette, what's her name? I think I had Dochette. Dochette. No Dochette. Never mind. Screw it. But yeah, let me know what you think of Phantom of the Auditorium. To me, it's like a good parody of the Phantom of the Auditorium. And fun fact, they actually did a musical of this in the US. Goosebumps Phantom of the Auditorium, the musical. It was quite popular. They had it in every state. No kidding. I'm not joking. Look it up. There's actually a musical of Phantom of the Auditorium. I want to see what it looks like because, hey, just for my aunt, yeah, you know. But yeah, let me know what you think of Phantom of the Auditorium. Did you saw it on during the reruns? Because if you try to say you've seen it while it first aired, wow. You're talking to a guy who was born in 96, and this came out in 90 what? 95. So this was before I was born, so a year before I was born, so that'll be tricky. But this was the very first one I saw from Cartoon Network when it first aired back in 2006 or 2007 right there when they did for the October season for the reruns. Because if you've seen the marathon, they were doing this because of the special The Haunted Hour Don't Think About It, which gave the idea for the series in the hub, The Haunted Hour the series. But yeah, let me know what you think of the Phantom of the Auditorium. Did you like it? If you've seen the episode, what was your favorite scene? To me, it's always been the ending climax because, come on, that there. When you realize that the guy you've been hanging out with is actually the real Phantom, and you never knew it, just by looking in the old yearbook he left, that's perfect right there. But yeah, let me know what you think of the episode. Did you read the book? Did you watch this on reruns during Cartoon Network, or you own the DVD? Let me know what you think, and remember to like this video. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video. I'll see you next time. Peace.